So this is fertilization. And the thing that you're seeing right now is a simulation of an egg cell, by which it holds a vital role in completing the process of fertilization. So the egg cell, also known as an ovum, is the female reproductive cell. The egg cell is filled with cell plasma, also called as yolk or ooplasm, within which mitochondria and the nucleus can be found. In egg cells, the nucleus is known as the germinal center, and it contains half the normal amount of chromosomes found in human cells. The polar body is a very small cell that also has half of the normal amount of chromosomes and results from the uneven division of the egg cell during its first phase of meiosis, the cellular division of reproductive cells. Around the perimeter of the cell, cortical granules filled with enzymes can be found in the yolk. The egg is covered first by a plasma membrane and then by a thick membrane called the zona pellucida. Lastly, it is covered by a corona radiata, which are multiple layers of cells that attach to and surround the egg cell when it is released from the follicle. So this is the cortical granule, and these are small membrane-bound regulatory organelles located just beneath the plasma membrane, and their primary job is to prevent polyspermy or fertilization by more than one sperm. Upon fertilization, they release enzymes that harden the outer layers of the egg. And this is mitochondria, or often called as the powerhouse of the cell. And mitochondria in the egg are inherited solely from the mother. They provide the necessary ATP or energy for cellular processes and the rapid divisions that occur immediately after fertilization. And this one is the nucleus, or the control center of the cell, which contains the maternal genetic material or the DNA. In a mature egg, the nucleus is often referred to as the germinal vesicle until it undergoes the final stages of meiosis to prepare for fusion with a sperm cell. This site here is the plasma membrane, also known as the oollema, and this is the lipid bilayer that encloses the egg cytoplasm. It regulates the entry and exit of molecules and is the site where the sperm eventually fuses to deliver its genetic payload. And this is the extracellular space here. In the context of the egg, this specifically refers to the perivitelline space, or the narrow gap between the plasma membrane and the zona pellucida. And this space is where the polar bodies are housed and where the cortical granules release their contents. And this is the polar body, or a small, non-functional haploid cell produced during oogenesis, or the process of egg cell formation. Because the egg cell undergoes a symmetrical division to keep as much cytoplasm as possible for the embryo, the extra chromosomes are discarded into these tiny polar bodies. And this right here is where the zona pellucida is located, or that it is a thick, transparent outer glycoprotein layer that surrounds the plasma membrane, and it acts as a species-specific barrier that only allows compatible sperm to bind and triggers the acrosome reaction in the sperm. So this is the egg cell or the oocyte and is a highly specialized cell designed not just to carry genetic material but to support the very first stages of life. And now, we are moving on to the sperm cell. So the sperm cell, or also known as the spermatocyte, is the male reproductive cell. It is comprised of a head, a midpiece or neck, and a flagellum or tail. The head of the sperm has a smooth oval shape and houses the nucleus, which contains only half of the normal amount of chromosomes of a human cell. The head of the sperm is covered in the front of the acrosome, a sac or cap containing enzymes. The midpiece or neck is where the sperm's mitochondria are found. The flagellum makes up about 80% of the sperm cell. It is a long, thin tail that moves in a wave-like pattern that gives the sperm the ability to move. Sperm's motility allows it to move through the uterus and fallopian tubes towards the egg cell. And this is the acrosome. It contains powerful digestive enzymes that are released when the sperm contacts the egg. And the nucleus that is located within the head contains the father's highly condensed genetic material. And its head is specialized for efficient movement through the female reproductive tract and for making physical contact with the oocyte. And the flagellum, or tail, that acts as the primary motor. It uses a whip-like motion powered by energy from the mitochondria in the sperm's midpiece to propel the cell forward toward the egg. So, the vital role of the sperm cell is to act as the primary vehicle for male genetic delivery, ensuring the continuation of a species through sexual reproduction. And this is how the fertilization happens. So, fertilization is the union of two reproductive cells to form a zygote, or a fertilized egg cell. Firstly, while traveling through the fallopian tubes, the sperm cells must undergo capacitation, or a process in which sperms prepare to fertilize the egg cell. And once sperm cells find the egg cell, they begin to burrow through the corona radiata. Once a sperm's head binds to the zona pellucida, it triggers the acrosomal reaction, in which the enzymes of the acrosome are released to help penetrate the zona pellucida. Once a sperm enters the egg, the cortical reaction makes the plasma membrane and zona pellucida impenetrable, preventing fertilization by more than one sperm at a time. The single sperm that enters the egg cell loses its neck and tail in the process. It fuses with the egg cell, which finished its second stage of meiosis, and the genetic material from the sperm and egg mix together. Now, there is a normal amount of chromosomes present in the mitosis or cell's division occurs. So, the acrosome, or the sac covering of the sperm's head, binds to the zona pellucida. It triggers the release of acrosomal enzymes to help penetrate the zona pellucida. Cortical reaction makes the plasma membrane and zona pellucida impenetrable, preventing fertilization by more than one sperm at a time. The genetic material from the sperm and egg mix together. So this is how the fertilization occurs.